Saw the outfit from Lil Wayne. What you got on today? What you got on?
This shit when I hear, this good motion, the only motion.
Welcome back to another Zay the Alchemist video. If you have not, make sure you go back to watch part 1. Today we are going to be, if you haven't seen the title already, today we are going to be having the part 2 to self-awareness. I feel like this video is going to be kind of quick, short, and simple. I really just made this a 2-part series because the sun was going down. I just didn't want to change the setting. So that's we made a little quick part 2 today. It should be quick, easy, simple video. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. Okay, so in this topic, we are going to start this video off talking about the types of self-awareness. I'm going to give y'all the definition. You guys know the rundown. Types of self-awareness. Self-awareness also takes different forms that can emerge in different situations and settings. Psychologists often break self-awareness down into 2 different types, either public or private. So now we're going to talk about the 2 different types, public or private. Let's see. Public self-awareness. This type of self-awareness often compels people to adhere to social norms. When we are aware that one is being watched and evaluated, we often try to have socially acceptable and desirable ways. So this basically means when you are, this means like at your job, when you are being watched by somebody, this often means like you tend to want to do different. You tend not to do certain things because you know you're being watched. So if you are at a job that has a bunch of cameras, you tend not to do things you would do alone because you know, being publicly self-aware now, hey, these are cameras around, it's things all around me, let me not act a certain type of way. So this is very self-explanatory. Private self-awareness is basically be the opposite. So when nobody's around, it's only you and yourself aspect of yourself. So it's basically like the example of looking in the mirror. You get a different type of self-awareness when you be other than when you are around people or in an environment where you have to act or do or maneuver a certain type of way. Okay, next part I want to talk about is the importance of self-awareness. Me personally, I'm gonna throw my own story in there. I think this subject is so important because this self-awareness is such like an eye-opener to yourself and your environment around you. Before I even had the actual learning these subjects, like from how I learn them, I just went off of how I learned and how I maneuvered through life and how I picked up on things. So how I did it kind of helps me explain it to y'all and relay it back in my own way to be like, hey, this worked for me, but this is my 2 cents. Not everybody's 2 cents work for everybody else. So this allows self-awareness basically allows you to reflect on the aspects of yourself. Basically, the things you like, your abilities, the things you tend to do, the things you tend not to do. So basically, your tendencies. You being self-aware can help you think about your interactions with people and the world around you. Like how I said earlier, basically that's how everything really works. People that have become self-aware or are self-aware are better at managing their behaviors and adapting to situations around them. So people that become more self-aware, they understand when people try to make them mad. They understand people, so they don't let people get to them. When you become self-aware, you can understand a person before they can understand you. It's kind of like you're seeing through a person before they can see through you, just by being self-aware. So I would say, yes, this plays a key factor. This can help you in jobs. It can help you in relationships. And any situation of life, being self-aware has a positive impact. Now we're going to talk about how to improve your self-awareness. We just finished talking about the importance of self-awareness. So now we're going to talk about how to improve it. The first one is meditation. Meditation is very key. If you have a routine to meditate, or if you don't, get one. I feel like it's very important. I feel like it's very good for your body and your soul for meditation. In meditation, basically what I do is I just pay attention to the objects around me, things around me. So my eyes are always closed, but I make sure, like, I give myself a body scan, make sure my body isn't hurt, make sure everything feels good, feels normal, everything's been done. Allow myself any passing by thoughts to run by. Just noticing anything simply, it can bring a great awareness to your thoughts too. So meditation can help with your self-awareness. Next is journaling. Journaling is something I have done, something I used to do, something I probably should do again. Maybe I would like to maybe do like a video on how I journal, but that'd be a good idea. But journaling is something I recommend. It helps you see what you say. It helps you, sorry for the bird over there. It helps you see what you say. It helps show you what you're really going through, and it helps you see something from a different eye. Because when you journal, like how I journal is I write down the things that bother me. I write down the things I'm grateful for. I write down my affirmations. I write down just anything I feel that's on my mind, and I read over it, and I just try to analyze it, and I move on after that. Well, I don't move on. I always analyze it and be like, how can we fix this? Or how could we have done better today? Or something along those lines. Or, oh, I noticed this about me. Maybe this is something I need to learn, because usually this doesn't affect me. Or I never noticed this affected me. Let me take in consideration my emotions and actually change it. So yes, journaling and meditation are two key factors. I would say probably key factors in any of psychology of life, of existence, of anything, or psychology of the mind. Meditation and journaling are key factors. The last two parts of self-awareness we're going to talk about is self-consciousness and developing your, it's supposed to be self-consciousness and developing your emotional intelligence. I think the first one we're going to talk about is developing your emotional intelligence. Self-awareness and emotional intelligence go hand in hand. EQ refers to a person's ability to perceive their own emotions and those of others. Those with a high EQ or a high emotional intelligence rate can effectively respond to emotions with empathy and compassion. But everyone isn't perfect, and EQ is a skill like any other. But by learning how to express your emotions in a healthy way and practice active listening in your relationships, you are contributing to the expansion of your self-awareness as well. So when you listen to more people, when you give your input, when you I'm gonna do a whole nother video on emotional intelligence, but when you give your input, when you learn how to deal with their emotions, when you learn how to receive emotions, when you learn how to efficiently react to emotions in the proper way, in the right way, you become greater in your self-awareness, and you grow more in your emotional intelligence. These things kind of play hand in hand. If you know one, the next one is so easy to learn, because it's kind of basically like one is a stepping stone for the next one. So this is kind of like step one of you like being aware. And then emotional intelligence is kind of like you want to be in like honors class. So emotional intelligence is, I would say, to me, one of my favorites. I'm not going to say my favorites, but one of my favorites, because this kind of gets me to do like, like someone that is not emotionally intelligent doesn't know when you're talking to them in a passive aggressive way. Me, I'm self-aware and I'm emotionally intelligent enough. I can see that. I can see if somebody does that to me a mile away. But a regular person couldn't tell. So it's always important to learn. It's always important to learn so you can be better. There's nothing wrong. And the last one we're going to talk about in the whole process of improving your self-awareness is therapy talk. So that could be talking to loved ones about things you picked up on, more to the side of going to therapy. A therapist works with you to address negative thoughts and patterns and behavior. By understanding the underlying cause of your negative thoughts, for a stance, you are in a more common position to change them and use healthier coping mechanisms. So when you talk to people that are either therapists or really highly intellectual people that can lead you into a positive direction, they will show you, or they will help you see your faults, or help you see where the negative is and replace it with something positive. So if you have a really bad tendency of when things get stressful, you like to bite your fingers, you can fix that and go do something else. So instead of going up bite your fingers, you can go outside for a walk, and you get the same reaction, the dopamine that you need to calm down, but you have a different reaction. You have, instead of it being a one-sided reaction, you get 2 out of 1. You get in shape and you get a better coping mechanism. So yes, better coping mechanisms are very, very important when going through and learning your self-awareness. And in the last chapter, or the last portion of this whole segment, we're going to talk about self-consciousness. People can become overly self-aware and veer into what is known as self-consciousness. Have you ever felt like everyone was watching, judging, or waiting to see what you would do next? This is a heightened state of self-awareness. It also can leave you in feeling awkward, nervous, in some instances. So with you being overly self-conscious, you feel like everybody's watching you. Things are always going on. Like, you just always feel like you have to watch your surroundings. This can happen. I'm going to say from experience, I've actually felt this way before, but I wasn't aware. Like, as a kid, I would notice it, but I thought it was so much more going on, but I was more so self-conscious of what everybody else thought of me that I would, like, increase my anxiety so much more because I was so self-conscious. So I wouldn't say being self-conscious is a bad thing. I would say it has to be in a level of how self-conscious you can be. Like, if you're self-conscious to where you notice good things, or you notice the little mistakes you do, that's cool. That's nice. That's a positive. But once you start noticing it in a way that you nitpick everything has to be perfect, no, that's not. You're leading down a path of destruction. Like, this is life. We live by life's rules. Half of us don't even follow the government's rules, but follow life's rules, and you see yourself going down a negative path, always redirect yourself with a positive coping mechanism. And that's how I'm going to end this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making it to part 2. This video will be up next week, and I think next video is going to be something else, but the video after that, we're going to start studying emotional intelligence. I want to get y'all that video since I just noticed it. So I'm gonna work on emotional intelligence in the next two months, I would say, because I'm backed up with other stuff. And yeah, thank you for making it to the end. Have a blessed day, and may God be with you.
It's only outfit from Lil Wayne. What you got on today? What you got on?
This shit right here, this good motion, the only motion.